Good morning vlog. Rudy! I am in the car. We are going to get some food, and also we're going to PetSmart to hopefully see if we can get Sherlock. We're gonna try switching his food because the one he's currently on makes his poop really stinky, so I don't think he's like tolerating it very well. So yeah, I have Rudy with me. Rudy, what's up? Rudy, come here. Rudy. Rudy. Yeah, okay. Rudy has no manners, but he's with me because we thought we'd take him on a little car ride so he could have some fun. And then it is a Chick-fil-A lunch for me today because my stomach seems to handle that pretty well, so I'm gonna eat that since I've been vomiting the past few days. That's what I'm doing today. Sherlock's at home. He's in a crate. He's totally fine. We're not gonna leave him there for longer than a couple of hours, if that much. Did some training. Oh, so Sherlock didn't wake us up this morning, but we put a Benebone in his bed with him, and several times in the middle of the night he woke up and was chewing on it. So I think he's teething. Rudy did kind of the same thing when he was a baby. He would wake up in the middle, of course Rudy slept in the bed with me, so it was different, but he'd wake up in the middle of the night, I'd take him pee, and then he wouldn't want to go back to sleep, so I'd have to give him what we used to call his pacifier, which is this like chewy gummy toy for puppies, and he would chew on that until he fell asleep. So I think just like for some reason teething seems to really bother my puppies. I'm really noticing that teething seems to really mess dogs up. Sherlock has had, so now he's having trouble sleeping. I mean, he's sleeping, but he's waking up to chew on his bone and then going back to sleep. And he's also having trouble focusing when I'm doing my training with him. So I think like teething is just really rough on puppies, and you gotta like keep that in mind whenever you're training them. And then change the topic, but I kind of love it when the clouds are like this because it's not super sunny, but you can see like the streams of light through the clouds. You know what I'm saying? It looks like one of those paintings whenever they're painting like Jesus' second coming. It always looks like that. There's Rudy being super vigilant. You're gonna bark at the old lady, aren't you? So it's really pretty. I love the clouds like this. Hello vlog, so we are back. We've been back for a while. I couldn't even finish my Chick-fil-A meal because I got super nauseous, so, and now it's been several hours and I'm still not hungry, but, so yeah, I don't know if I'm going into another one of those super fun flare-ups or what's going on with that. I'm not vomiting though, so that's good. I can probably just keep force feeding myself and deal with it. And we went to PetSmart and we got, so Sherlock, because of his breed, he needs to eat large breed puppy food, which is apparently super difficult to find in most like pet stores. So we've been feeding him Nutro, I think is the name, large puppy, but it makes his poop really stinky and he tends to alternate between solid and kind of soft poop, like not full-blown diarrhea, but softer than what we would like. So we just don't think his stomach is enjoying that very much. So we got him Blue Buffalo large breed puppy, which I like that brand a little bit more. I just like the ingredients list a little bit better. The only sucky thing is the large breed puppy only comes in chicken formula, so I'd prefer him to be on a fish, but chicken will work, I guess. We're gonna see if that settles his stomach all right. Hopefully it does. I'm kind of considering looking more into like a raw diet because I know a lot of people put their dogs on that, and we tried it with Rudy. And with Rudy, like, he really enjoyed it, and Rudy hates food. Like, he hates his kibble, but he really enjoyed the raw diet, but it gave him diarrhea whenever we would try to, like, kind of switch more of it into his kibble. So we ultimately gave up because we just didn't want to upset his stomach. But I wonder if Sherlock would do better on that, just because it's probably got better nutrients for a dog of his size. But it's just a lot of work. So next time I go take him to the vet, maybe I'll ask his vet about it and see if they have any suggestions. Obviously, if I was a billionaire, I think I'd probably just buy him like a really nice dog food brand like a Cana. or Arcana, I don't know how to pronounce it. But honestly, I feel like with dog food, like you get a nice brand and it's probably still not the greatest. So I like the idea of feeding your dog raw because I feel like it just makes more sense to them, like in nature. And with Rudy, we saw a lot of benefit when he was getting just raw supplementally and with his kibble. His breath smelled better, he had more energy, his fur was super soft, he smelled amazing all the time. And so that really showed to me that the raw diet was definitely beneficial to dogs. So I wonder if it would be beneficial to Sherlock. But it's just a big decision to make, and it does have its risks, obviously. And when you're disabled like me, it's a lot of work to do the prep and stuff. Anyways, I'm just resting here because I couldn't finish my Chick-fil-A, and then when we went to PetSmart, I got an allergic reaction. I'm not sure what to. My mom thinks it's this lady that walked by that smelled like super strongly like perfume, but I think there was a dog in there or something that I was allergic to, which is funny because I usually don't react to dogs, but like my face started swelling up and I got a headache and it wasn't the greatest. So now I'm really tired because allergic reactions tire me out really fast. So I'm just resting, infusing my fluids, and hoping my stomach gets hungry soon so I can eat some actual food, maybe. So I just remembered something I was going to tell you guys about. So one of the people that I follow on YouTube who has a condition called mast cell disease, as well as EDS and POTS, I believe, and I think gastroparesis. So she has pretty much everything I have except for I don't have an official diagnosis of mast cell disease. Anyways, she has recently started a petition. And I'll put the YouTube video where she explains what the petition is for up here. But basically what's going on is the only formula that she tolerates through her feeding tube currently changed its ingredient list. And now her and a few other people with similar conditions and her conditions are really struggling because they don't have nutrition that they can tolerate. So they started a petition for the company to change back to the original formula. So I signed the petition. If you guys could go and sign the petition, that would be great. Camera died. Okay, back to what I was saying. So yeah, most of the people on this formula that started this petition, or the girl that started this petition, has something called mast cell disease, which is a condition that I may have. I'm still getting tested for it, but it's been linked to EDS, which is my main diagnosis right now. And there are different severities of it. For me, my biggest problem seems to be my GI problems and my medication sensitivities. But some people have it pretty badly and they actually have to be on something called a CDI, or a continuous diphenhydramine drip, which keeps them from going into a state of constant anaphylaxis, but they still get a lot of really severe and dangerous allergic reactions. So that's why it's so important for them to have this very specific recipe list, or a recipe for the formula that they're getting through their feeding tubes, because if that recipe gets thrown off, even just a little bit, they can have a reaction to it. I can't relate to this completely, but my mast cells do some pretty funky things. I've had reactions to some really weird stuff that I wouldn't think you could have a reaction to. With red meat, I'm not just allergic to eating red meat, I'm allergic to smelling red meat. If it's cooked around me, I get an allergic reaction. If I'm in a restaurant where it's cooked and the ventilation isn't good, I get an allergic reaction. Microwaved, anything like that. So I, to some extent, understand these extreme sensitivities, but these people have them to a very greater extent. And so, anyways, if you guys could sign the petition and share it, that would be great. But I figured any word that I can get out is worth it, because they really need a lot of help and they need a lot of signatures to get corporate's attention. So that hopefully EleCare, which is the formula's name, will change back to its original recipe. Also, can we talk about how weird it is now that petitions exist online when, like, the original petition was this piece of paper and you actually had to sign it? That still, like, kind of confuses me to this day. Alright, so I've put on my PJs, Sherlock is in bed. On a kind of random note, I'm having some serious pain in my, like, muscles in my back and elbows. And I know this is not something I talk about, but, like, things got majorly screwed up when my wheelchair was ordered, and so it doesn't actually work for me. That makes sense. So basically, because I've been taking Sherlock out on a walk, I'm sorry for the super redness. That's what happens because the hideous walls are painted red. But since I've been taking Sherlock out on a walk and obviously pushing my own wheelchair, I've injured myself, it looks like, pretty badly because the wheelchair doesn't work right. So that's great, because now we have to figure out what we're gonna do about that. Because we basically, at this point, we have no company to go to that will be able to help me. And so we were gonna wait until December and hopefully visit the Abilities Expo then, and hopefully get some answers as to what to do when your local company has no idea how to order a wheelchair for you. But obviously it's not realistic to wait until December when my current wheelchair is severely injuring me. Like, I am in severe pain right now, and that's an early sign that I'm gonna develop tendinitis or muscle tears, joint dislocations, like further problems if I don't get this fixed. So hopefully we'll get things with the wheelchair sorted. You know, I mean, at this point the chair is even kind of like falling apart because the brake is messing up. Because originally it was not built to be used full-time, and when I started using it full-time, the company the durable medical equipment company should have made me a new chair to be used full-time, and they didn't. And so now I'm stuck with a wheelchair that doesn't work. So yeah, gotta fix that. Anyways, I'm frustrated now, so I'm gonna go to bed, and hopefully that one falls asleep. He's been really whiny. I think the teething is just really getting to him. So thank you for watching today's vlog, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good night.